Good, good.
Excellent, excellent.
Awesome. Before we get started, why don't you guys let me know your name and where you're calling from, please, where you're connecting from.
Hey, this is Victor with in South Carolina. I just signed on Saturday.
Welcome, Victor.
Yeah, I sent you a text the other Sunday. You said we'd talk today.
Yeah, let's talk later today, brother. Welcome, welcome, Victor.
What's going on, JC? This is Zach from Irvine.
Zach, welcome, welcome.
Good afternoon from the East Coast. This is David Small from Greensboro, North Carolina. How you doing, JC?
Amazing, my friend. Welcome, brother. Congrats on some of these installs you got going on.
Oh, man. Wait till you see these pictures and video from the drone. This thing is amazing.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Hey, what's going on, JC? This is Stefan from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Stefan, welcome, brother. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Isn't that the same name that when Steve Urkel turned into the shark dude? That's his name, right?
Yeah, he turned into Stefan.
Turned into the smooth Stefan. That's a smooth name, Stefan.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Nice, nice. Anybody else wanna give a shout out before we get started?
It's
JC, what's up, man?
Arlington, Texas.
From Texas, welcome.
Hi, JC, Robin. I'm out here in Rancho.
Hey, Robin,
And
welcome,
look,
welcome.
who else is here? And Gerald is here.
Hey, Jay.
What's up? Hey, good to see you, bro.
Good to see you, man.
We
Good to
gotta
see you. I see you doing big things.
Man, we're trying, bro. We're trying, you know?
You're doing good.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you, everybody, for connecting on here. We've got some more people logging on. This is a popular topic, which is, recruiting mastery. So, just to give you guys a little bit, let me go ahead and mute everybody so we can go ahead and get started. And by the way, try to mute yourself if you can. That would be helpful. But one of the things that I want to bring up, guys, is the following. I've been involved in the industry of network marketing for more than half of my life. I'm 37. I got started at the age of 18. So, it's been a tremendous road, and I've learned a lot of things along the way. I've met some incredible people that taught me a lot of very useful things. And so one of those things is the right mindset, which I believe is number one most important, right? In addition to that, sales and recruiting. And in the business that we're in, I was showing some of my teammates the other day. I took one day off on Thursday. And so the next day on Friday, I had 10 mentor deals assigned to me. For those of you guys on my team, man, we got to help you get to mentor ASAP because it's just getting overwhelming. You know what I mean? And so, some of the people seeing, some of the results that we've gotten. And, the reason why is because before May, I had never sold solar in my life, ever. And I talked to my friend Robin, and she's actually the one that introduced me to this business, right? She's the one that introduced me to Powr and connected me to Jonathan Brunasso, and I started picking his brain. And I never sold solar before May. And so last year I closed probably about 50 deals. In the month of November alone, I did 16 deals. 5 of those deals were personals. And I got letting a couple people in. 5 of those deals were personal, and 11 of those deals were mentor deals. So the question lies, how many people in here would like to experience that, would like to get to mentor, have a big team, and have a bunch of mentor deals, right? Of course.
Absolutely.
So here's the situation. You do that by building a team. And when you get started, it is the best time, I should say, to start building a team is when you get started. The reason why I say that is, give me 1 second. I got this guy asking me for the link. The reason why I say that is because you don't want to have the wrong mindset of, hey, let me get to mentor and then let me start building a team. That's not what I did. So sometimes people ask me, JC, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do to build a team? And I say to them, here's what I did. When I got started with Powr, there's a difference between, I want you to write this down for your notes. Here's a first note that I'm going to give you. There's a difference between starting your business and launching your business. And if you already started it, it's okay, launch it now. So if you started it and you didn't take it very seriously, what I recommend that you do is have a mindset to launch your business now, right? What does that mean, launch your business? We're going to talk about it, but basically in a nutshell, it means to get off to a fast start, to go all out massive action, right? So when I got started, here's one of the things that I did, and I'm going to give you the script. And with Powr, our ambassador program makes it a lot easier to introduce people to solar, to let people know that you're in solar, and to get free ambassadors. And it's a very soft approach recruit. So I'm using a PowerPoint here that I created years ago. I just did a couple edits early this morning, but I didn't do it specifically for Powr. I will do, mark my words, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do a recruiting mastery training that's going to be 2 to 3 hours long. It's going to be super in depth. It's going to be a lot of the stuff we talked about here, but I'm going to dissect them. We're going to go into scripts. We're going to go into mindsets. We're going to go into strategies. Today is going to be kind of like an introduction to recruiting mindset, but I guarantee you, if you learn some of this stuff here, and it's a lot of information, you're not going to learn it all. You're not going to learn it all. Okay. It can be a little overwhelming if you catch that one thing. And guys, I do a training every single Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I will be on this Zoom, whether it's no people here or 100 people here or 1,000 people here. I'm going to be doing a training every Monday. Every 4 or 5 months, I need to take 4 weeks off. But when I do that, I will move the Powr hour to a different day. But for the next 2-3 months, it's going to be every Monday. Okay. So anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So never take a day off for being a champion. That's a philosophy and a quote that I started using a long time ago, and it's something that I truly believe in. So let's get into the mentality real quick, okay? When it comes to having a mentality, top recruiters have a prospecting mindset, okay? The biggest builders become biggest builders because they always have their business hats on. A good marketer sees opportunity from a totally different perspective and uses that to his advantage. Why? Because there is opportunities all around us. That is the reason why it's so important to always have a prospecting mindset. So here's what I'm talking about. For example, when I go to the gym, I have my Solar Hero shirts. Not only does this help me in my efforts to recruit, but it also helps me in my efforts to sell. People know that I'm that guy. People know that I'm that guy. Hey, you're in the solar business. Even if nobody approaches me, it doesn't matter. I'm representing it. I always have a business mindset, right? I'm always thinking of business when I'm out during business hours, especially, right? But even on my days off, if I see somebody that looks like they're in real estate, I'm going to go and ask them for their card, right? Hey, by the way, I heard you're in real estate. Yes, I am. Do you have a card, by the way? Trust me, a real estate agent is going to be very happy to give you their card. And what do you think their next question to me is going to be? What do you do? Oh, cool. I'm glad you asked. I don't say that, but I'm thinking that, right? I say, oh, I'm in the solar business, actually. Yeah, cool. And then I can take it a step further. By the way, do you currently work with a solar specialist? Simple. Worst case scenario, the guy's going to say no or not interested or whatever. Doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is the volume, right? The volume and the connections. And guess what I do? I add them on social media. Social media, a lot of people are not on social media. I get it. There's a lot of bad things about social media, but there's a lot of good things about social media. And if you look at the top performers in almost any industry, they are on social media. So guess what? I look for them on Facebook. Social media is a way that I recruit so much. And the reason why is because it is your business card. When you are on social media and they see that you're about personal development, that you're about your business, that you are a professional, but you're also a real person. So I share stuff about, like yesterday, I shared a video of me training my son in kickboxing, right? I share videos of me training. I share videos of my family and I having dinner. So people see and I'm relatable to people. Not only that, write this down. People like people who are like them or like they would like to be. So that phrase starts with people like people. In order for somebody to do business with you, whether buy from you or work with you, join your team, they have to like you first. The first sale you have to make is you. You have to sell them on you. Why you are the right person? Well, guess what? Your business card, okay? And by the way, I'm texting a group here, and this is a part of team building, right? Making sure everybody is on. So I'm texting, we are live. Okay, so here's the situation. When it comes to this business, sorry guys, I know that I'm multitasking and we are live. I got a couple text groups. with 20 people each group, and it's a bunch of them. So I have to, so here's the situation. People like people who are like them or like they would like to be. So if I meet you and you're a real estate agent or you're a roofer or you're a plumber, whatever the heck it may be, especially business-minded people, especially want to make a note of this. Your power players. Who are your power players? They are other business professionals, or they don't even have to be business professionals, but most of the time they are. They are other people who have the ideal target market that you need, which is in what case? Homeowners, right? So if I'm talking to a tax guy, if I'm talking to an alarm security sales guy, if I'm talking to a real estate agent or a mortgage broker or whatever the case may be, you better believe I'm going to find ways, whether in person or on social media, to network with them, to add them on social media. Why? Because that's my business card. But guess what? I'm also not going to do on social media. I'm not going to be posting videos and pictures of me getting hammered on the weekend. Does that make sense? Because that's not very professional. So that's one of the things. So what some people do is they have their personal one, then they create a business one. That's fine. I'm not a fan of that. It's too hard to manage. But if you can manage it, more power to you, right? But the point is, now I add them. Now they're seeing me. And I make it a point to interact with these people more. So even if you have to have a list of these people, go on their page once a week, like and comment some of their stuff. Now you will pop up on their feed. Use the stories a lot, right? So I'll put stories of other people's success, even if it's not your install. Even if it's not your install. If you just put, hey, another family goes solar in the beautiful city of XYZ. Right? You're not saying that's your install. You're not lying that another family went solar, but guess what? They're seeing you're about your business. You're about your business. Take pictures and videos of this, post it on your social media. Then people know, here's the deal. People want to work with a professional that is all in with their business. They don't want to work with somebody that has 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So for example, one of the best tips that I could give anybody when they get started in this business, and anybody at any point in this business, is to have a goal. I want you to write this down. This is so incredibly important. You want to have a goal for 200 people minimum to know that you are the solar professional. Without a shadow of a doubt, they know. Those of you guys that are on my trains all the time, you hear me say it all the time. Here's the deal though. I know that some of you guys that heard me say this a month ago still aren't any closer to that 200. Some of you are, but some of you are not. What if 200 people, you didn't recruit them, you didn't sell them, but 200 people simply knew, Stefan, that's a solar guy. He owns it. You go on social media, that dude's all about it, right? Sanja, that's a solar girl. If 200 people know that you are in the solar business, I guarantee you will start getting referrals. There's no way that you're not. Not only that, you know what else you're going to get? You're going to get recruits. You're going to get referrals for sales and referrals for recruits. Okay, very important. So before I move on to the next slide, here's one thing I want to mention. When I started in my business, I called everybody I could possibly call, right? I tell people call a minimum of 100 people just to tell them that you are in the solar business. You call them and you say, hey, watch, MP, can you hear me? I want you to unmute yourself. I'm going to role play with you, okay?
All right, let's go.
I'm going to go through a real call. This is what I do. Ring, ring, your phone is ringing, MP.
Hey, what's good?
Mike, what's up, Big Mike? How you doing, bro?
Oh man, just over here doing some stuff at the house. What's going on?
Awesome, bro. Well, listen, man, I trust you and the family are well during these crazy times.
Yeah. Thank God. Yes.
Good, man. Glad to hear it, bro. Well, listen, I know you're a busy guy, bro. I respect your time, so I'm going to keep it short, okay? But listen, the reason why I'm calling Mike is I just got started in the solar industry with a company by the name of Powr. And bro, I'm very excited about it. And this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 to 15 years. The reason why I'm letting you know, bro, is because I just want you to know, in case you ever know of anybody that either has questions about solar or anybody that may be interested in solar, I would appreciate it, Mike, if you'd keep me in mind. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Ain't that stuff expensive?
You know what? It's not, bro. Basically what you're doing, you're just prepaying for your electricity, man, with the bank's money at a less than a 1% interest rate. You know what I mean? It costs people zero out of pocket. But I mean, if you want more information, bro, I could certainly share some more information with you. A lot of people just don't understand solar.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people, some people tell me that they that they got it like 5-6 years ago, and that they're paying 2 electricity bills, and now they're in a big mess. So I don't know. I'm just kind of afraid to get into a big commitment like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? Those are certainly situations that don't happen with our company, but I have heard some of those horror stories, and that's why I'm doing the business, because we could do this business the right way.
Okay.
So here's the point, guys. That is the introduction for these 100 calls that I do. Granted, that was a good call. He shows a level of interest, and he's a homeowner. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the time to educate him and to show him how that's not going to be the case for him. But the point that I'm getting to is that, think about this. I call him, small talk. After the small talk, I say, hey, listen, the reason why I'm calling you, and everybody that's building a team, if you want your team to go out there and build a team and make sales, this is a very good way of doing it. I got my first couple of sales simply by doing this. I got my buddy Gabriel, who's a mayor of his city. He did this. He got his first 3 sales. Now he's already 100% commission. Did that in about 45 days. Got his 3 sales in 45 days. Guess who mentored those sales? I did. I asked him, how are you getting all these leads? He says, what do you mean, how am I getting all these leads? I'm using the script you gave me, bro. I said, my man, that's what I'm talking about, right? And a lot of people are doing that. So whether they're homeowners or not homeowners, doesn't matter, you call them. But here's the thing. When it comes to recruiting, this script will allow you to get tons of ambassadors. Ambassadors will lead to consultants. If you don't want to really go out there hard, and I'm going to give you some recruiting scripts right now. If you don't want to go out there hard on the recruiting side, you don't want to be that aggressive, you don't have to be with Powr. You could go with the ambassador program. Here's why. If you get, hold on. If you get enough ambassadors on your team, here's what's going to happen. With enough ambassadors on your team, you will get some referrals. Then guess what's going to happen? Once some of them refer you somebody, then you tell them, hey, by the way, Chris, did you know that you could have made $3,000 on this deal instead of $1,000? How's that? Had you been a consultant earns half of the commission. You would have done the same thing. You would have referred the lead the way that you did as an ambassador, right? But instead of getting $1,000, you would have made half. So the commission there was $6,000. You would have made $3,000. All of a sudden, his ears are up, right? All of a sudden, Chris is saying, tell me more. And I tell him, look, it's $49 a month overhead, right? But is that worth it? Even if you close a deal in the next 2 years, you still net more money. If you only close one deal every 2 years as a consultant, it still nets you more money than your cost. Does that make sense? So when I'm making these phone calls, a couple things I'm saying, 2 steps and 2 steps. I say, hey, listen, I'm very excited. I just got started in the solar industry. Number 1, I'm very excited. Number 2, this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 to 15 years or next 10 to 20 years. What does that do? It lets them know that you have a long-term vision, that this is not a fly-by-night opportunity for you, right? Then I say, the reason why I'm letting you know is another 2 things. In case you know of anybody that just has questions about solar or anybody that may be interested in solar, I would appreciate if you'd keep me in mind. See, I don't want to just say anybody's interested in solar. I'm going for the kill right away. Hey, man, I'm generous. Even if you got somebody that simply has questions, I'm your guy. I'll put in that work. I'll answer their questions, right? Anybody who has questions about solar or anybody who may be interested in solar, I would appreciate it if you keep me in mind. All of a sudden now, some people are going to simply say, cool, thanks, see you later. Some people are going to say, really, tell me more. Or you know what? My mom, my cousin, my sister, my neighbor just bought a house. They're thinking about solar, whatever the case may be. And what does that do? That leads to you getting ambassadors and you getting leads, right? So 100 people. Remember, what is a goal? The goal is to have 200 people to know that you are the solar guy or the solar gal. Very important. That is a goal. When you get there, you will get referrals. You will get recruits, right? And I've got people last week. I got a guy, very sharp guy. His name's David, right? I won't mention his last name, but he owns a home security dealer. He says, JC, I've been watching you since May, since you got started in the solar industry. I've been meaning to reach out, but I've been procrastinating, but I've seen how you've grown in the business. I see that you got a lot of deals. I see that you got a lot of installs. I see your trainings. Bro, I'm ready to join your business. Now, the guy has a home security dealer. He goes and does door knocking. He has people that go and do door knocking. He's been in the business for, I think, almost 10 years. Is that a good person to recruit? You darn right it is. But you know what? I didn't even know that the dude was looking at me, but people are looking at you. But guess what? You've got to network with these people. You've got to be the loudest guy or girl out there, but you got to do it in a way where it's respectful. You're not obnoxious. And don't get me wrong, I've been obnoxious in some points. I am. I'm very bold and I'm out there, right? I try not to be. But the point that I'm getting to is there's no mistake if you follow me on social media that you're going to know I'm a solar guy. Not only that, I'm going to call you to let you know that I'm in solar, right? I'm going to call you. And at the very least, I'm going to ask you if you are currently working with a solar professional. Okay, so let's go. Here's a mentality. There's a scarcity mentality and there's an abundance mentality to recruiting. Okay, some will, some won't. So what? Next. Some will, some won't. So what next? So staying in zone one. Zone one is recruiting should be the answer to all of your problems in this business. Okay, I really believe that. You're not making enough money. You should go recruit some more people. Not only that, guess what? If you recruit some people, some of those people are homeowners. Guess what they're going to do if they believe in the business? They're going to go solar. Right? And if you're a mentor, you're going to mentor the deal at the very least. If you're not a mentor, it doesn't matter. You're still going to make that 20% commission on level one, right? But recruiting, guess what? You're not only recruiting people to the business, you're recruiting homeowners, right, to be your customer, right? But right now we're talking about recruiting and team building. So there's 3 rules to team building. Number 1, exposure is everything. I want you to write that down. Exposure is everything. Number 2, the fortune is in the immediate and proper follow-up. And I'm going to get into details with this. And number 3, you want to work with the willing. Here's why. You're going to get a lot of people that are going to say, hey, man, I want to make it happen. But then they don't show up to training. They don't show up to the corporate event. For example, don't expect to build a huge organization if you're not registered to the scale-up event. Make sure that you've got your ticket to the scale-up event. You want to be a recruiting master? Let me give you one of the best tips to be a recruiting master. Okay, it's 2 words. Here's what they are. All in. You got to answer this question. Would you follow you? This is one of the key questions to team building. You want to build a big sales organization. Would you join you? Would you follow you? Would you buy from you? If you wouldn't buy from you, why would anybody else? Right? If you wouldn't follow you, why would anybody else follow you? So that is the thing that you've got to ask yourself. So see, for example, when I ask myself that question, would I follow me? You darn right I would follow me. Would I buy from me? You darn right I would buy from me, because I'm going to answer your calls if you have questions, even after the installation. I'm gonna bust my butt to get you a better proposal if you've got multiple proposals. If you want to learn how to recruit and you're serious about it, I'm going to show you. I'm going to spend the time with you. I got some people on my team that they get on Zooms, but they're not very computer savvy. I meet with them at my office. And I role play with them. I even go on the field with people. So would I join me? The answer is yes. You have to answer yes to that question as well. Would you join you? Yes. So number 1, exposure is everything. Meaning you got to get out there and meet people, talk to people. Here's a little side note on exposure is everything. You got to have a daily method of operation. I call it a DMO. When it comes to your business in general, but you could have one for sales. You could have one for recruiting. Okay. Right. You could have one for different sections, but one of them for recruiting in the exposures, everything, is a following one. Hold on. Here it is. You can go out there and go, for those of you guys that are like in Florida, those of you guys that are like Texas and different states that are more open, that's awesome. By the way, February 27th, it's a Saturday. It's a week from this Saturday, right? So it's 2 weeks away. I'm going to be doing a recruiting meeting, an opportunity meeting at a real estate office, at a RE/MAX, as a matter of fact. Maximum capacity we're going to have is 30 people because of social distancing. We could have fit 60, but we're going to have it 25 to 30 people. We're going to do temperature checks and everything. So I'm opening it up to the team, but you got to have a guest. You cannot just show up without a guest, because then, we're limited to the space, right? So you could only show up if you have a guest. Okay. After, I'm going to be doing a training in that room. So we're going to do an opportunity meeting. It's like a Super Saturday. Okay. That's what I'm going to call it. Powr Super Saturday. I'm going to Zoom it as well. Opportunity recruiting meeting, right? I'm going to have a minimum of 5 to 7 guests there, real estate professionals. Okay. Because I'm all about recruiting. Remember this: wide or die. Wide, go wide, meaning recruit wide, recruit frontline people, right? So And then afterwards, I'm going to be doing a training. So anyways, exposure is everything. Here's a daily method of operation. Add and message 10 realtors daily. It's not hard to do. It's actually easy to do. Here's the problem. It's easier not to do, right? How do you walk? How do you go on a journey of a 400-mile journey? One step at a time, right? One step, put one foot in front of the other. Then you put the other foot in front of the other, and you just keep going. So when it comes to this, look, it's the simple, and it isn't, check this out. Imagine you're messaging, let's say you add 20 realtors daily. You go and add 20. Then you get the notifications. Joe Smith just added you, just accepted your request. What if you go in there and message Joe Smith? Hey, Joe, thank you for accepting my friend request. Wishing you the best 2021, the best year ever. I hope you double in more deals and close more escrows than ever before. Something along those lines. Just generic. And you could copy and paste that same message. Just change the name, right? Just copy and paste it, change the name. Now I'm going to take out Joe. I'm going to put Doug. Boom, send. You better believe some of those people, they're going to say, who is this person? And they're going to go on your profile. And if they see on your profile that you are a professional, that you are sharp, if they have an interest, they're going to reach out to you, or at the very least, they're going to reply back. Hey, thanks for that. You too. Or, hey, thank you. What do you do, by the way? And what are you thinking? I'm glad you asked. And you pitch them. See, but now imagine if you do that. That's 300 messages per month. 300 messages per month. Now, what if you have a team of 10 people doing that? You think that with 3,300 messages like that per month, you're not going to get some recruits? You're not going to get some sales? See, it's not about what you do. It's about what you duplicate. But you are either duplicating the right behavior or the bad behavior. You guys following this? It's a simple little disciplines repeated over a period of time. Just add people when they request. Don't pitch them. You're not going to pitch them. You're going to thank them for accepting your friend request and wish them well. That's basically what you're doing. That's not the time to pitch. Now, if they come back and say, hey, man, some people will come back and say, hey, man, I see that you're in the solar industry. I've got some questions about that. Boom, get on the phone with them, right? So exposure is everything. That's where it starts. Number two, the fortune is in the follow-up. You've got to properly follow up with them in a timely manner. And then once you build a team, you're 80% of your people minimum, 80% of your team is not going to do much. That's why step number three is you work with the willing. You work with those that deserve it, not those that need it. The ones that need it because they never show up to training. The ones that need it because they're not out here taking it serious, right? So work with the willing. Promote all the trainings and everything, but I go where the fire is. Oh, this guy's on fire. This girl is on fire. Boom. That's where you spend the majority of the time with. And guess what? Those are the people that build it. Some of the other people, they're going to come around eventually. That's cool. But these are the 3 rules to building. Okay, so let's keep going. It says here, winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. Vince Lombardi. Okay, so a little bit about prospecting. You guys should know this already. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. This applies to recruiting. 3% of sales are made on the second, 5 on the third, 10% of the sales are made on the fourth contact, and 80% of the sales are made on the 5th contact and beyond. The recruiting is a sale. When we're talking about this, we're not talking about just sales. We're talking about recruiting. The fortune is in the follow-up. I might call the guy back and says, you know what, man, I'm not ready to get started because my wife and I, we're homeschooling and blah, blah, blah. I say, hey, you know what? No problem, man. When would be a good time to follow up? How much time do you need? Call me next month, bro. Call me this time next month. Sounds good, right? Right now it's the 15th. How about I give you a call around the 15th, 16th of next month? See if things are better. Yeah, sounds good, brother. Talk to you soon. Guess what? I put it in my planner, in my CRM, and I'm going to call them back on the 15th, right? And I'm going to just keep doing it. And see, here's the deal. Here's another thing about recruiting. You've got to be emotionally unattached to the result, just like prospecting for sales. I don't care if you say yes or you say no. Here's the abundance mindset. There's an abundance mindset and a scarcity mindset. The abundance mindset is that mindset that says this. Nobody is going to take anything away from me that's meant to be for me. If I'm going to build a team of 10,000 people selling solar, that's my goal, by the way. My goal in the next 2 years is to build a team of 10,000 people that are selling solar. Even if most of them are only making one sale every 6 months, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The numbers will add up. Here's a question, JC, where are all those people going to come from? Here's my answer. Wherever they're at right now. How and where they're coming from is none of my business. You know what is my business? To believe it and to have a daily method of operation to go in that direction, to identify who my 5 core people are. My 5 core. Core is somebody that's serious about the business, that's all in, that's following the system. When I become core, I can give life to core people. When I have 5 core, they're not going to stop till they have their 5 core. That's 30 people total. You could build a team of thousands and thousands of people with 30 core people. 30 of them. Doesn't take that many. Okay, so let's keep moving. Okay, here's 8 tips on the recruiting mindset. Tip number 1, let me let this guy in. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. That is an old saying in network marketing, direct sales, which I agree with it only half. You can't say the second part. You cannot say the right thing to the wrong person. That's true. The wrong person that's not motivated, I call it a 27%er. Okay, that I'll go into that training another day. You're not going to convince them, and we're not in the convincing business. A recruiting professional is in the sorting business. Write this down. Amateurs convince, professionals sort. Amateurs try to convince somebody. In the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, by the way, great book, I recommend everybody read. In that book, he says, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. A professional doesn't try to convince people. I had one guy after a meeting, after a recruiting meeting, say, all right, well, convince me to join the business. And I said, brother, with that question, you need to convince me why I should let you into my business. If after all this information, you didn't see an opportunity for you, it's not for you, my friend. If you need convincing, this business now, I'm telling you right now, you don't qualify to do this business with us. And guess what? All of a sudden the guy was interested. And I said, look, my time, I need to spend it with the people that see it. If you don't see it and you need convincing, maybe they could ask your questions, but I got to move on. Long story short, the guy ended up joining. Posture. Posture. You guys feel these backbones bend over a little bit? I could see you guys. I could see you. Bend over and touch these balls behind your back. You feel that? You know what that is? That's called a backbone. Use it. You're not a jellyfish. When you are in this business and you want to recruit people, guess what you should do? You got to do it with a backbone. You got to have that posture. Guys, here's the deal. Power energy. Where else can somebody go out there and realistically make 10, 20, 30, $40,000 per month or more off of their own efforts? In a recruiting business, very hard to find that. And you don't need a license in most states. Where else can you make 30 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand a month with 100 people? Can't do it. Can't do it. You know what I mean? Off of the efforts of your team, mentoring those deals. We have the deal. There's a lot of evidence. This is not a theory. There's already people making that kind of money. So let's move on. So number 1, now it says you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Yes, you can. You can mess it up. You can have the right person that's open and you can mess it up. A sure sign of messing up is lying, over promising, right? So that's why I say I half agree with that. The next one is the more you say, the more they judge. The less you say, the less they judge. When I recruit somebody, I'm going to pique their interest. I'm going to show you some things that I say to pique their interest. Then guess what I do? I get them to watch a third-party presentation. Whether today at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, every Monday, there's an opportunity presentation by Bobby and Charles. I get them on an event like that. Then afterwards, I call them and I tell me yes, tell me no, but tell me fast because I got to go. If it's not for you, no problem. Thank you for that. Boom, I move on. Or I send them a pre-recorded presentation for them to watch. Or we'll sit down and do the presentation for them. But ideally, third-party presentations are better. Why? Because you take away the you factor. The presentation is going to be consistent. Bobby and Charles are going to do a consistent presentation, right? So the more you say, the more they judge. The less you say, the less they judge. So if I pique your interest and your interest, I say, here's the deal. A lot of these questions that you have, Zach, they're going to get answered. A lot of these questions that you have, bro, they're going to get answered in this presentation, okay? And it'll answer it a lot better than I can. Now, I'm going to send you this video that explains our business model, okay? I need you to dedicate 25 to 30 uninterrupted minutes to watching this. Could you commit to that? Yes, I can. Awesome. By what time do you think you would have already watched it? I'll give you a call right after. He says, by 7 o'clock, I already watched it. Sounds good. At 7:01, your phone's going to ring with my number on the other end. Okay, sounds good. Guess what? Then I call him. That's posture. Does that make sense? I don't make it about me. If they got a lot of questions, I say, listen, this video here that I'm going to send you, it's going to answer all of those questions. You'll still have some questions afterwards, but this is going to answer a lot of your initial questions. Then I'll follow up with you as soon as you're done with it. I use third party. The more I say, the more they judge. The less I say, the less they judge. So let me send them the video presentation that has recruited thousands of people. Why in the world am I going to reinvent the wheel? So I'll give you guys an example. Here's how serious I am about recruiting. I've got my notes app on my phone. Okay. This app right there, the red one, is a notes app. If I click on it, I have a lot of notes. Now, if I go to Powr Videos, here's the Powr Videos. You see that? So one of them is why go solar, 5-minute video. The next one is Powr Comp Plan Breakdown. That's a video that I did. The next one is 24-minute full presentation with Bobby and Charles, right? And then why I partnered up with Powr. I have the videos that I sent to these people. So I always send the first 3 videos. That's like I sent to everybody, right? I'm not over here going on YouTube looking for them. I already have them ready. Why? Because my intention is to recruit. I'm not playing with this. I don't play games. I quit school because of recess. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys will get that later. So next one, people will be more impressed by the height of your enthusiasm than the depth of your knowledge, right? So when I'm calling them, I'm enthusiastic about it. I tell them that I'm happy. I'm excited about it, right? In the script that we mentioned earlier, right? Success in inviting is based on timing, not talent. Understand this. Sometimes you have some sharp prospects and you're so eager to get them on board, but it's not the right timing for them. Put them on a follow-up list. I've recruited some of the sharpest individuals, but because I followed up with them periodically. The next one, sizzle video coming soon. I'm going to do in the next week or two, a 5 to 6 minute sizzle video that hits on about 5 or 6 bullet points of why Powr Energy is a good way for somebody to build a home-based business, okay? This is gonna be a great teaser video that's gonna get people to say, bro, this sounds good. How can I get more information? We used to use something called sizzle calls back in the days. It was a pre-recorded call. Now I'm gonna do a sizzle video, right? So I'm gonna talk about some of the benefits, but in a short 5-minute video. I'm gonna try to keep it under 5 minutes, right? So it's a sizzle video. So if I call and pique their interest, I say, look, I'm gonna send you a 5-minute video, bro, a 4-minute video. Want you to watch this. If after you watch this video, you're interested in more information, I'll send you the rest. But I just need you to dedicate 4 or 5 minutes to this video. So that sizzle video, I will have it in the next 2 weeks maximum. I'm just extremely busy, right? Now, if somebody watches and I hit like 5 to 6 bullet points on it, and it makes sense to the prospect's going to be begging to get on an opportunity webinar, whether it's live or pre-recorded. Does that make sense? So instead of having them commit to a 25-minute video out the gate, they could commit to a 4 or 5-minute video. That will pique their interest enough to go to the next level, which is maybe today's opportunity, meeting tonight, right? So the sizzle call video is coming soon. Let's keep going. Spend 1 minute with 100 people and not 100 minutes with one person. This goes back to the sorting versus convincing. When I'm calling people to recruit them, I'm not spending a whole lot of time with them. I'm firing off phone calls, and I'm a decision gatherer when recruiting. Are you open is what I want to know. Next one, facts tell, stories sell. So when I'm recruiting people, I was talking to a real estate agent friend of mine, and I was telling them, look, man, the gentleman that I'm working with, Jonathan, he's a real estate agent for eXp Realty as well. because this other realtor, he knew about eXp Realty. What got me here is when that guy said to me, and he's a realtor like him. So I try to find relatable situations. But remember, facts tell, stories sell. When you were a kid, you were told bedtime stories, not bedtime facts, right? We all like stories. So I tell him the story of Jonathan. When he said to me, we are the EXP of the power industry, I said, shut the heck up. BS. Tell me why. Then he showed me that we are indeed the EXP of real estate. I said, bro, I'm done. Let's go. Then the guy's like, really? Like that, huh? Say, yes, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you for the last couple of months, bro, but you're too damn busy to listen to me. He says, all right, JC, all right. Send me the video. I'll watch it. Facts tells, but I followed up on that dude 5 times at least. Guess what? The guy's a consultant, closed the first deal already. You know why? Because I also have the identity that I'm a badass recruiter. You have to have that identity, even if, look, your conscious mind is going to tell you BS if you're not. But your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between the truth and a lie. It'll believe whatever you tell it. You tell it enough times, you're going to start believing it. Then you're going to start attracting things and situations that will make that true. So you have to first believe. In the word believe lies the word lie, right smack in the middle of belief. So when you keep saying that over and over, it might be a lie to your conscious mind, but your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. So my identity is that I am a great recruiter. Remember the questions, would you work with you? So when you can answer that question, would I work with me? The answer is yes, I would work with me. So guess what? If you would work with you, doesn't that make sense? Yes, that does make sense. Your posture when people are trying to recruit you, and by the way, show me some love on the chat section if you guys are liking this information. I want you to type down what you're learning. I want you to tell me what you're learning from here, okay? I want to make sure that you're learning this stuff, okay? When your identity grows to that identity, and by the way, guys, I just did a training last week at a real estate office. I'm going to share that training on Facebook, on the groups, and on my personal page later on today. I want you guys to go on there on the inner game. I do trainings for real estate offices all of the time, okay? Some powerful stuff. I recommend that. That's why when you keep getting this information and keep getting better and better, your identity keeps growing and growing. Now you start to believe, and when you believe that you are good, that people are blessed to be working with you, you will recruit more people and you will sell to more people. Why? Because you believe in you. They're not going to believe in you if you don't believe in you, okay? Next one, amateurs convince professionals short. We talked about that. Some will, some won't. So what next? Let's keep going. Let's keep it moving. Jonathan and I got a call at 10 a.m. to close the deal in Northern California. So we got to get this money. All right. I'm so glad you said that. I thought I was the only one that felt that way. These are bullet points on how to overcome objections for recruiting. We're getting to the nitty gritty. I'm so glad you said that. I thought I was the only one that felt that way. Also, feel, felt, found. We all know the feel, felt, found. This business is specifically designed for people that fill in the blank. And then also, can I be honest with you? So here we go. Let's say somebody says, well, you know what, Marissa, I just don't like sales. Great. You're going to love this. Or I'm so glad you said that. Because this business is specifically designed for people that don't like sales. Why? Because of the mentor program. You don't have to sell it. You can assign the lead and you explain the mentor program to them, right? Okay, I don't have the time. Man, I'm so glad you said that. This business is specifically designed for people that don't have time. Let me explain why. You know homeowners, you know people that I don't know. You introduce them to me. I invest the time that you don't have to get them to buy or to get them to join the business while you're doing whatever you're doing, being busy, right? When I get them on board and the sale gets done, you get the credit, you get paid the commission. If they decide to join the business, guess what? They join under you. So this business is awesome because it's specifically designed for people that don't have the time or feel felt. Hey man, I know how you feel. That's how I felt when I barely saw this business. Here's what I found out. The mentor program. Let me explain to you the way the mentor program works. Boom, 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 boom. Does that make sense? I'm so glad you said that. I thought I was the only one that felt that way, right? Is this a pyramid, right? Man, I'm so glad that you said that. This is not a pyramid. In a pyramid, the way it works is that people get paid for the simple act of recruiting. If you recruit 1 million people here, you won't make a dime, right? We get paid when we help solar go on homes, right? So anyways, these are a couple of different ways. And if you have a couple of objections about recruiting, you could go ahead and tell me, hey, well, you know what? Do you have to pay to get involved with this business? You know what? I'm glad you said that. You actually don't. We have two options. We have the ambassador program. We have the consultant program. Let me explain what those are. And one of them is free and the other one costs a little bit of money. But see, it's the posture that you're using when you're answering these questions. Now let's get into some questions of places to go network and get leads, right? B&I mixers, social media, warm market, cold market, online paid ads. I won't spend a lot of time on that because we don't have a lot of time. Here's a recruiting cycle. Pique the interest. I'm going to show you how to pique the interest with some questions. Show the plan. We talked about that. The plan could be shown today's 5 o'clock presentation every Monday. That is showing the plan for you. Showing the plan means showing the presentation. That's what showing the plan means, right? And then number 3, three-way call. So let's say you're new. You pique somebody's interest, right? Hey, Anthony, what are you doing at 5 o'clock today that's more important than you learning how to make $10,000 per month from home? Well, shit, I ain't doing nothing that's that important. What you got? You got to get on this webinar, bro. Let me send you the information. Trust me, be on there. You owe me lunch for this one, bro. Let's say he gets on there. See, so I did one. I piqued his interest. I sent him the link so he gets on so they could show him the plan. Afterwards, if I'm new, I'm like, he's like, dude, this sounds good. Let's talk after. I got some questions. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call my upline leadership, Jonathan Brunasso, or whoever your upline leadership is. Hey, bro, I got this guy. He's watching the presentation. He's interested. He's going to have some questions. Could you help me out? Then a three-way call. Here's why. Because you are going to edify your expert. I'm going to tell Anthony, hey, listen, Jonathan, this guy, he's helping a lot of people. He's making a lot of money, bro. When this dude writes a check, the bank bounces, man. Okay? So this guy's the man, bro. I actually am able to lock down 5 minutes of his time. I'm going to get him to answer your questions because between you and your prospect, there's trust, but not necessarily respect most of the time. Because usually people are inviting people that they're usually are right around the same income level. So there's trust, but not necessarily respect. So what I do is I build up my expert through edification. So I could build the respect between my expert and my prospect. So now when I get on the three-way call, mind you, Anthony already saw the presentation. Now we got to close them and get them on board. So now I get on the phone and I refer to Jonathan as Mr. Brunasso by the last name. And I refer to my prospect by their first name. Mr. Brunasso, thank you so much for getting on the call. Let me introduce you. This is a good friend of mine, Anthony. Anthony, Mr. Brunasso, Anthony. Then you shut up. You do not interrupt your expert. Your expert is going to say, Anthony, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. He's going to answer his questions, get him on board, and you're just taking notes on the other line. You could do a three-way call. You could do a Zoom meeting. Me, these days, I'm all zoomed out, right? For something like that, I'd rather do a three-way call. But if a show, matter of fact, Anthony and I have a Zoom meeting later on today with a realtor that he's recruiting out in Virginia somewhere. He knows a deal, right? This is called the PS3, not the PS4. There's a PS3. Peak interest, show the plan, three-way call, okay? Let's keep it moving. Okay, here's a couple simple invites. You could even mess this one up and still get it right. Here's an invite. Show 15 minutes, may or may not be interested. Let's say I give Anthony a call and I say, small talk, blah, blah, blah. Then I say, hey, listen, Anthony, reason why I'm calling you, bro, is I have something important I want to show you. It'll take about 15 minutes and it may or may not be for you. I could mess it up. I could go backwards. Hey, listen, Anthony, the reason I'm calling you is this may or may not be for you, but I need 15 minutes of your time. I got something important I want to show you. Does that make sense? I could even meet with them in person and open up my computer and show them a pre-recorded presentation and just sit there and watch it. Just watch. Then after it's done, pretty good stuff, huh? Did you see a way for you to, do some business with us? Did you see a way for you to make some money from home with us the way that I'm doing? Right? But guess what that is? Duplication. Anybody could do that. Anybody could say these three little invites, okay? So you want to keep it simple. Complexity is the enemy of execution. Tony Robbins. Here's a couple of invites. John, what are you doing on Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time? That's more important than you learning how to make $20,000 per month from home. See, that's an aggressive approach for an aggressive person. Now, if I'm talking to an 18, 19, 20-year-old that's never made $3 grand a month, I'm not going to say 20. I might say $3 grand. I might say $5 grand. Does that make sense? You want to tailor to the person. Hey, what are you doing on Monday evening that's more important than you learning how to make $10,000 per month from home? Well, shit, what do you got? Does that make sense? Now, once the sizzle video is ready, the sizzle video could be something that you send them to bridge the gap to get them on this call. Does that make sense, guys? Because I'm going to explain why the solar industry is doable for anybody from home through Powr. That's basically what I'm going to do in a 4 or 5 minute video. Okay, guys, it's a sizzle call. It's a peak interest call, right? Here's another invite. Hey, Sarah, let me ask you this. If 20 years ago you knew what you know now about Amazon or Tesla, pick the company, doesn't matter. Okay, and you had the opportunity to get involved or to have invested, would you have done it? What do you think she's going to say? Heck yeah, I would have done it. If I knew then what I know now, would I've got involved or invested? Darn right I would have. Awesome. I got something bigger than Amazon, Tesla. If you're talking to EXP agents, what do you think you should put in here? You guys follow my drift? Hey, David, let me ask you something, bro. If let's say, for example, 6 years ago, you knew what you know now about EXP Realty, 6 years ago, would you have got involved in?
Absolutely.
Damn right I would have.
150 the other day.
Exactly. Guess what he would have said? Darn right I would have. Bro, I got something just as good, if not bigger than that. When can we sit down and talk? How many of you guys can add a bunch of EXP agents daily and lead up to this question? Man, it's got to be a habit. First, we create our habits. Later, our habits create us and our results. You got to create habits of success. I'm just giving you a framework, an idea. Somebody on here is thinking that one question was what I needed to get on here. And you got it. Some of you guys got a little bit more. Some of you guys got some other things. That's cool. That's why training should be something. Training is something you do, not something you did. You understand what I'm saying? Training is something, showering and brushing your teeth is something you do, not something you did, or at least I hope so, right? Same thing with training. If you're serious about your business, Jonathan Brunazza's trains every Tuesday at 10 a.m. That dude's a stud. Okay, guys, that's the training you should be on all the time. I do this training every single Monday at 9 a.m. And I'm going to bring the heat every single week on a different topic. But see, how many people are going to plug in and really take their business seriously? You want to be successful in Powr or any business? Let's talk about Powr. It ain't that hard. You know why? Nobody's really trying. The world is full of temporarily motivated people with lip service that claim that they want to do it, that they're going to do it. This time they're going to do it. This time they're going to do this. And most of the time it's just hot air. It's not true. Okay, guys? All right, let's keep going. The answer is yes, of course, right? Awesome. I got something bigger than those companies, right? So let's keep moving. If I could show you a way to put an extra $1,000 to $2,000 per month in your pocket, part-time, is that worth 30 minutes of your time? Such a simple approach. Hey, Zach, if I could show you a way to put an extra $1,000 to $2,000, and by the way, you can edit that number. You could put $3,000 to $5,000. That's up to you. It doesn't have to be 1 or 2. In your pocket, part-time, would that be worth 30 minutes of your time? Darn right it is. Guess what? You get them to watch a presentation. If they're local, if you have to drive to them and meet up at a local coffee shop and put the presentation for them on your computer, you do that. That's what you should do if you want to build a team. You got to be serious about it, because guess what? The way you build a team is the way they're going to build a team. The way that you're serious about building a team is the way that you're going to duplicate them to build a team. Write this down. Your team will, if you're lucky, your team will do 50% of what you do right. Your team will do 50% of what you do right. And they will do 100% of what you do wrong. Try missing a training. See if your team doesn't miss a training. Try not going to the event. See how your team don't go to the event. Anybody that's on my team, I'm telling you right now, man, after this weekend, if you want me to take your calls, you better be at the scale up event. If you want me to take your calls after this weekend, because guess what? I got a big team and I don't got time for everybody. I got time for the most serious people. You better get your butt to that training this weekend if you say that you want success. If you say this new year, new me, let's see if it's true. And trust me when I tell you, man, I'm saying that for your good. I'm saying that because you tell me that you want to be successful in this business. If that event was in Arizona or Las Vegas or New York or Florida, and you had to buy your plane ticket, get your hotel room, have money for your food, plus pay for your event, if that was the case, you know what I will tell you? I'll see you at the event. No excuses. You're either a go-hitter or you're a bullshitter. But guess what? It's $149. And you just got to walk to wherever your computer is in your home, and you got to get on Zoom and get on training. See, that's the shit that really, excuse my language, but that's the stuff that really gets to me. People tell me that they want success, but they don't show up. They don't show up. Sometimes people say, man, it's because I don't know anybody. Well, when your ass dies, it takes 4 people to carry your casket. You better meet some damn people. Okay? So guess what? Show up to the training this weekend. That is the most important thing. I got a guy that I was recruiting. I just recruited him last week. The dude says, hey, I'm waiting to come up with the money to sign up the 148. I said, bro, we have a convention next weekend. This was last week, right? I would rather you spend the 148 on the convention ticket than on signing up. That's a true story. If you are not signed up yet, which if you're on here, you should be, but if you're not signed up yet, that training is more important than you signing up. Because if you go to that training, you learn the skills there, I guarantee you, you're going to find a way to come up with the money when you see how big of an opportunity you've got here. Real talk. That's how important that training is. Okay. And I'm going to be calling people this week. Part of my job this week is I'm going to be on if I have to block my call, my number for you to answer my call, you're going to receive a call from me. And I'm going to light a fire under your ass to make sure that you got that ticket. And Mike knows that because Mike's worked with me for years. He knows how I am. All right, here we go. Honestly, answer this question. Triple what you made on your W-2 or 1099 last year. What would you do with that free time? And are you open to looking at a business that can do that for you? Okay. Now, this is the direct approach to recruit. You want to keep it simple, get ambassadors, and some of them will eventually turn to consultants. I went out there. I got weight.
Oh, sorry to bother you. Can you go back to that slide real quick? I was going to snap a picture on that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I've got a lot more personal recruits that paid, no problem, versus ambassadors. I probably got 20 ambassadors and 40 people that paid to join the business because that's my focus. Don't get me wrong. I still get ambassadors, and ambassadors that I've gotten have turned into consultants, and real estate agents to me are the best people to recruit for me, and network marketers. Okay. And then finally, let's finish this off. If I could, would you? And are you serious or are you kidding? So here's what that works. Let's say it's Michael that I'm calling. And Michael told me that he's looking to buy a house for his family next year. I give Mike a call. I know what his motivation is. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Small talk, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Mike, listen, let me ask you something, bro. If I could show you a way how to get that home that you've been wanting for your kids and your family next year, would you be interested? He's going to say, yeah. Why? What's up? Are you serious, Mike, or are you kidding? No, I'm serious. What's up? You have to take a look at what I'm doing, bro. Trust me, watch this information about what I'm doing, and then let's talk afterwards. It may or may not be for you, okay? It'll take about 15 minutes, but it's very important, and I need you to see it. Remember that invite, the 3 steps? I got something important to show you. It's going to take about 15 minutes, and it may or may not be for you. You could combine the two, but you have a framework of what to do. But here's the key. Remember, exposure, that's step number 1. Exposure is everything. Then the fortune is in the proper follow-up, and then work with the willing. So I gave you a couple of things to say, okay? I'm going to open it up for 3 minutes for questions, and then we're going to close out, okay? And then to somebody that's in network marketing, direct sales, I ask them directly, hey, let me ask you a serious question, bro. Are you open to other companies? Are you recruitable? Or are you open to other opportunities, or are you married to your current company? Just a very direct approach, right? Why? Because if you beat around the bush, they know what a recruiting call looks like, and they don't appreciate you beating around the bush. So it's better to go direct with it. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and stop sharing the screen. I'm gonna stop recording. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute, and then but I'm gonna stop the recording here.
Hey man, that was good stuff. That was some good stuff, man. You pumped me up. You pumped me up, man. That's good.
Awesome. I appreciate